In 2013, when bombs exploded at the Boston Marathon, Rebekah Gregory and her son, they were only 3 feet away from one of the bombs, and they both survived. But Rebekah eventually did lose her left leg, and in 2015, she returned to Boston to run the marathon on her prosthetic leg. She is opening up about it all in her new book. It's out today. It's called Taking My Life Back, My Story of Faith, Determination, and Surviving the Boston Marathon Bombing. Rebekah Gregory joins us now. What a pleasure to have you here.
Oh, the pleasure is mine. We have coffee with you guys every morning, so I feel like we're best friends already.
We wake up together every day.
We do.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that. So what have the last 4 years been like for you?
The last 4 years have been an absolute whirlwind, but every day I still feel extremely blessed to just be alive to see a new day. And, you know, as crazy as everything has been, I believe that God has a bigger plan, and that's why I'm still here and able to tell my story.
You know what I love about your book? You're so open and you're so real. You went through a divorce after this. You were told you were never going to have any more children. You ended up marrying your high school or college
sweetheart.
My college sweetheart. Y'all did have a baby. The baby was in the NICU for a while, but doing well and almost celebrating a year.
Yes, she'll be 1 on May 2nd, so life is good.
Congratulations. So you talk about your PTSD in your book. Tell us what you go through on a daily basis.
I think the important thing to remember is that just because it was 4 years ago, the people that were affected by it, it's every day of their lives, just like any other traumatic event. And so, you know, I have to give myself a pep talk in the mornings to sometimes even walk out of my house. And I wake up constantly from nightmares, and my poor husband has to just, you know, tell me it's going to be okay. And I'm so humbled and blessed to have that comfort and support. But it's, you know, airports and leaving backpacks unattended or bags, and you know, it sneaks up on it in every little way.
The things that you saw are things that a human being shouldn't see.
No, definitely not. There were people's body parts laying all over the ground, and blood and nails and ball bearings and BBs. Everything that these brothers could pack into these pressure cookers went, you know, to within everyone within range. So
I want to talk about the brothers, but first I want to talk about your son. Your son was with you that day. Y'all were spectators. And he was sitting in front of you, in front of your legs?
He was. He had gotten bored watching all the runners stream by, and so I told him to sit down at my feet and play in the rocks, of all things, as a scientist. And we were on asphalt, but because I made that decision when the bomb went off behind me, my body was a shield for him. And so I took everything in the back of the legs, and they say that's what ultimately saved his life.
And eventually they tried to save your leg, but they couldn't save your leg.
They did. I looked like a shark's leftovers, to be quite honest with you, and there were chunks of bone and muscle and tissue. 80% of the bones in my foot and ankle were completely gone. And so I just decided, after 18 months of trying, bed rest, wheelchair, I wanted to get on with my life.
What was that like when do you remember that day? Did you wake up and you see what happened to you and to your leg, your missing leg?
I did. I mean, but I was so relieved because I was taking steps back, but at the same time I was moving forward, and it was the next chapter. And so I decided not to be sad about it, but so grateful that I can continue on with a fake leg. You know, I can walk, and that's an amazing thing after all of this time.
You talk a lot about your faith and what gives you hope and strength to move forward. You also talk about the letter that you wrote to one of the brothers. Can you tell us about that when you had to come face to face with him? I know you gave something called the victim impact statement, and you said, I will never be your victim.
Yes.
But then you wrote something on Facebook. What was that? Could you read a little bit of what you wrote on Facebook to him?
Yeah, it says, you can't handle the fact that what you tried to destroy, you only made stronger. While you are sitting in solitary confinement, I will be actually enjoying everything this beautiful world has to offer. And guess what else? I will do so without fear of you. That was really powerful for me because I gave my testimony, and then I didn't get to say everything I wanted to, and it was me expressing myself through writing, which obviously that's why I've written a book. I've loved to do that all my life, but I didn't realize that people would pick up on it and just be so supportive and encouraging, and that letter was one of the neatest things that I've ever done.
Great. Well, God bless you. May God just walk with you every day of your life and with your precious children. We wish you all the best. Her book, you have to pick up her book, Taking My Life Back.